just you and I.
How's it going, guys? Public Safety Network here. Today I'm going to do a topic on midnights, night shift, graveyards, whatever you want to call it. It's pretty much when you are working when the sun is down. So, as most people know, security is, in most cases, a 24/7 business. That means we work holidays, weekends, overnights, whatever. And when you're new to the industry, you're probably going to end up working the graveyard shift. Most of the time, swing shift and day shift goes to guys that have more time on, more experience, etc., etc. So, we're going to kind of give you some tips today on how you can survive working graveyard. Graveyard's a hard shift. So you're working when most people will be sleeping, and in all honesty, when your body thinks it should be sleeping. And so a lot of times for the first few weeks, maybe even first few months, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to adjust to working all night and then sleeping during the day. But we're going to kind of give you some tips to make graveyards as easy as possible to get through. And so I'm going to kind of list off some tips here of the things you may want to consider doing in order to make your life a little easier. Biggest thing, number one, guys, is eat full meals before you go into work. And what I mean by that is eat meals that contain all of the food groups, all of your macronutrients, so proteins, carbohydrates, fats, all of your vitamins and stuff like that, because what effectively is going to happen is us night shift guys, a lot of times we get shafted in the sense that we don't either get to eat sometimes, or if we do and we have to go get something, we're not really left with a whole lot of healthy options or options that are going to pretty much give us the nutrients we need. And by eating a full meal of all of your necessary nutrients and vitamins, that's going to get converted to energy, and it's most likely going to keep you awake because your body has something to burn for fuel. And that's a lot of the reason that people end up super tired, is the fact that their body just doesn't have enough calories and carbohydrates and fats to convert it to energy. So making sure that you eat before you go to work and eat a proper meal is going to be one of the ways that's going to curb tiredness. The next is going to be bring snacks, guys. Similar to the meal tip, bring snacks that are high in carbohydrates, that are high in fats, like that, because again, it's going to kind of help you stay awake. Things like cashews, peanuts, pistachios, different types of nuts. Sunflower seeds is another one. I know a lot of guys will choose sunflower seeds in order to stay awake. Snacks like that, healthy snacks, a lot of times will be very beneficial in helping you stay awake, because again, it gives your body a fuel source to burn for energy when you're kind of getting around that point where you're about to conk out and fall asleep. The next tip I can suggest to you guys is make sure you're getting sufficient rest. And I know it's really difficult for you to sleep when the sun is out. Your body is used to sleeping when the sun is down, and you obviously being productive and awake when the sun is up. So obviously one of the big things is to make sure that you go to sleep at a similar time every single day. So if you get up at 7, kind of create yourself a routine where you can go kind of complete your routine and then go to sleep. So you go home, take off your uniform, maybe make something light to eat, and then you're in bed by a certain hour, and try to repeat that habit every single night. Same with sleeping arrangements. Make sure that you get blackout curtains, guys. Blackout curtains are probably one of the best inventions for night shifters ever. It basically tricks the room into believing that it is nighttime, and so that a lot of times that will help your body trick your body into believing that it is nighttime, so therefore it will go to sleep like it is supposed to. So blackout curtains, guys, you can get them at, I think, most major, probably like Walmart or stores like that, chains will probably have blackout curtains. I don't really know what they cost. I haven't used them in a while. So I think the last time I picked them up, they were probably like $15-$20. And so yeah, so pick yourself up some blackout curtains. It'll help you a long way when it comes to making sure that you get consistent sleep, because it's very, very hard to operate night in and night out off of 3 or 4 hours of sleep. The next thing is, guys, is if you have the ability to, you need to make sure that you are kind of staying, I guess, somewhat active. So, obviously sometimes you have a static post where you're standing in the same spot or sitting in the same spot for long periods of time. If you have the ability, get up, walk around, find, maybe do a tour or whatever, but just keep the blood flowing, because I've noticed this amongst myself. If I'm out and about and doing stuff, then I'm less likely to get tired. But the second I kind of sit down and start to kind of let my body relax is when a lot of times I'll catch myself falling asleep and such, especially around certain points in the night. So if you have the opportunity to kind of get up and move around and kind of keep the blood flowing, that's going to be probably one of your best bets of staying awake, because it lets your body know that, hey, I need to be awake right now. All right. Next thing, guys, is to avoid, kind of get back to food here, is we're going to try to avoid super sugary snacks and drinks. So things like cookies, donuts, candy, most energy drinks. There are a few out there that are going to be okay options. The reason is because a lot of times, guys, these will give you kind of like that quick burst of energy, for a short period of time. So you may feel super good for, maybe 30, 45 minutes, but then you're going to hit that crash, and as quick as you went up is about as quick as you're going to go down. And then sometimes you may even feel worse than you did beforehand. There are certain other alternatives. Bang energy drinks, if you have those in your area of the country, are kind of a good alternative. I don't really suggest them for long-term use. Using them more for when you kind of need that final push. Maybe you only have a few hours left and you need something to kind of get through there. So because it's a mixture of energy drinks and kind of pre-workout, so it's a little bit of a healthier option than your standard energy drinks. But again, I wouldn't suggest it for kind of a long-term use. Another, guys, is drink plenty of water. Again, we keep going back to the food, but a lot of times what you eat and how you snack and things like that when you're working both day and nighttime, a lot of times is going to affect your energy level. So make sure that you're properly hydrated, that you're drinking water consistently to kind of counterbalance out any, maybe energy drinks or foods that you're eating. So just make sure you're drinking plenty of water to stay hydrated, because a lot of times it's also going to make you it's also going to kind of prevent you from getting sick, which is also a thing that happens in night shift, is because we a lot of times don't take care of ourselves as much, because, like I said, we tend to eat a lot worse. We don't get as sufficient sleep as a lot of guys that work day shift. So a lot of times it can actually make our immune systems a little more, little weakened, and so a lot of times we tend to get more sick. And then the last kind of tip I have for you guys is make sure that you if you have the opportunity to kind of get away from night shift, I would. I've worked nights for the last few years. I enjoy it for the most part, but I can tell you that the long-term kind of damage that working nights can do, it's pretty severe, guys. I've never met anyone who worked, either security or law enforcement or whatever, who worked nights their whole career, because a lot of times they can have very damaging effects, like I mentioned before, because of insufficient sleep and stressors and all of these kind of life facts kind of compile together to kind of take a toll on your body. It takes a toll on your body, it takes a toll on your mental health, all of these things that are imperative to perform your job. And so, while you may like nights now, and I often use the phrase nights is a young man's game, eventually I would consider maybe going off nights and moving to a different shift, making sure that you have kind of the opportunity to eventually get on a normal schedule and kind of where your body thinks it should be. So thanks for watching, guys. Said that's kind of a quick video I wanted to put out. I've still seeing some steady growth, and so I definitely like to see the channel boom a little bit more. So like I said, keep watching, guys. Like, subscribe, throw me video ideas. If you're a night shifter, throw down in the comment section how long you've been working nights, maybe some tips that you have for guys who maybe this is their first time working nights. And thanks for watching, guys.